we say performance measurement, think of a screwdriver and a screw, right? Do you think it's pretty simple to use? It is. In fact, if you have a screwdriver and a screw, to use it pretty simple. But not if you don't know how to turn, right? Performance management is all in that way. The performance, you might have what needs to measure, but if it is not measured in the right way, not the right thing is picked to measure, it doesn't lead to anything. If you can't measure failures, you can't correct it. Only when you are able to measure something, you will start working towards it, start correcting it, start improvising it. If something which you don't measure, it would never be in a position to know whether you are going in the right direction or not in the right direction. So what is meant by doing a good job at measurement? It is not measuring more things. It is all about measuring key things. Most of the times when we talk about good performance measurement, we figure out measuring n number of things over there. That's not how it works. You need to understand what are the key things to measure. In the balanced scorecard concept, Kaplan and Norton have expounded that effective organizational measurement involves measuring key components of strategy from 4 perspectives: financial perspective, internal business growth perspective, customer perspective, and learning and growth. Key performance measurement perspectives, the 6 key performance perspectives are from market, financials, people, operations, environment, and also partners and suppliers. A company cannot devote equal attention to all these 6 areas. Different businesses strategies place different emphasis on managing and therefore measuring different areas. For example, a refinery or a chemical manufacturer is more likely to stress on operational and environmental issues. A retail giant like a Walmart or a Tesco might emphasize on measuring like customer satisfaction and employee commitment. So we would understand how does this work and how do we build on a measurement thing. Building measurement managed organization. So there are 4 phases for building measurement managed organization. Number 1 is defining the strategy. Phase 1 involves building the required agreement among the members of the executive team on the set of concepts to be measured and well elaborated rationale for this selection. Designing the measures is the phase 2, which decides how exactly to measure them. Here we should address the myths and prejudices concerning what can and cannot be measured. The third phase is cascade. The power of measurement system is unleashed only when the measured performance in strategic areas guide day-to-day decisions. For this, the high-level enterprise-wide strategic measures must be communicated throughout the organization. Managers must understand the strategy and receive regular feedbacks on their performance. The fourth phase is embed. To get the best out of the measurement system, it should be aligned with and be supported by other systems and work processes in the organization. Let's understand these 4 phases in a much more detailed way. Developing the strategic template. The first phase out of the 4th one, as I said, was defining the strategy. The first important thing to consider about is clear process objective formulated. Objective setting is difficult for a leadership team when the challenge is an abstract and complex issues like cultural change. The first step is to break the culture change effort into manageable bite-sized chunks and set benefit-yielding objectives around each piece. The second part of the strategy is agreement on strategy secured. Too often, even with a written summary of the strategy, members of the senior team disagree on its meaning and implementation. These should be sorted out and a consensus reached out what is really important and what therefore needs to be measured. The third one is the theory of business defined. Before deciding on what to measure, the theory of business should be explained. The theory of business refers to the fundamental premises of framework for decision making. This also defines when organizational improvements will most likely achieve this strategy. The fourth piece in the phase 1 of defining strategy is top leadership committed, right? Secured. The leadership team must not only know the strategy, the theory of the business and the project plan, but they must be totally committed to them and be willing to render them their unequivocal support. How to measure it? While phase 1 of developing a measurement managed culture addresses what to measure, phase 2 is concerned with how to measure it. The two key objectives here are identifying technical correct measures, and the second one is building commitment throughout the organization to what and how things will be measured. So to get in detail of this phase 2, designing the measures, the first key thing to understand is theory of business tested. The testing process is essentially an opportunity for broader involvement by bringing more people into the testing process. The senior team assures greater involvement and ownership of the model. The second one is valid, reliable measures identified. There are many alternative ways to measure any activity. The activity one are those confronting to the set of key criteria. In phase 2, alternative methods for measuring every aspect of the theory of the business needs to be considered. The criteria decided on and the best measures selected. Phase 2, the third point is performance target set. The goals set can unify efforts of workforce and foster teamwork. Further classify strategic intent, where can improvement be gradual, where must be breakthrough in nature. Force outside the box thinking. And the next one is help communicate programs and transcend leaders. Clear targets drive the effectiveness of strategic measures. The fourth piece in phase 2 of designing the measure is process leaders developed. Success of measurement system is decided by its primation in the organization. In phase 2, the circle of alignment is spread to other leaders in the organization. This lot are needed to lead and propagate the measurement system throughout the organization. To gain the commitment of this next level managers, it is necessary to involve them in building measurement systems. So you develop in phase 1, phase 2 you design, phase 3 talks about cascading strategic measures, involves communicating the strategy and having units across the organization develop measures to monitor the implementation. Cascading removes the strategy from the realms of the top, brings it out into the open and turns it into a living, vibrant instrument with the power to align and focus the organization. So cascading the measures, the first thing to consider is cascading structure determined. The objectives of phase 3 is to communicate the measurement system across the organization. On this basis, functional areas or business unit have strategies that support the overall high-level business strategy. The second one is strategy communicated. In cascading, different groups within the organization have to develop their own goals, strategies, and the measures of tracking progress. This is possible only if the strategy is fully communicated to the members. Cascade leaders trained is the third point in cascading the measures. The cascade teams have to be oriented and trained. The amount of training will depend upon the extent of involvement of the team leaders in developing and the high-level measurement system altogether. Systems of measurements linked. One of the most important determinants of a strategic measurement system operation is the degree of linkage between various units. Every lower level unit has a scorecard and can find out how each of its measure is linked to the higher level scorecard measures in the parent organization. The fifth point here is measurement behavior linked. The ultimate purpose of strategic measure is to change behavior. This means linking organizational measures to individuals and team accountabilities. The fourth stage is embedding the new culture. In phase 4, an organization focuses on the following 4 areas: managing the business by strategic performance measures, link human resource systems to strategic performance, develop IT systems, and continuously improve the strategic performance measures. So phase 4, the first point is management process integrated. Measurement becomes powerful when it is integrated into the context of the way we manage our business. To integrate strategic performance measures into the day-to-day management of the business keeps these 4 goals in focus. 1. Make the measures a regular part of the management process. Use measures to help set a limited number of clear priorities. Involve as many people as possible, and the 4th one is review the measures regularly. The second point in embedding the new culture is HR systems aligned. Organizations should align their HR systems to the strategic measures. If not done or if not communicated, the entire process would hit a roadblock. It will just stop there. The third one is IT system linked. Establishing a measurement managed culture calls for an effective information management. Many organizations are using new web or network based technologies to manage and communicate strategic information. In addition, at the click of a mouse, a manager can access a written description of a concept, comparative graphs, performance against targets, variances, historical trends, and measurement results from supporting units. The fourth piece in embedding the new culture is theory of business refined. Within a year or 2, developing the set of measures, a re-examination of the business model is called for. This is to adjust the measures or targets used to track implementations of the strategy.